in die wêreld vul die fake gurus en overnight suksespromisse, real success stories stand out for one the reason nie. They're messy, slow, painful and completely real. They are not fairy tales. These are stories of people who failed, struggled, doubted themselves, and still built extraordinary wealth. This is not about luck, and this is about the mindset, decisions, and consistency. Let's start with one of the most powerful stories in modern history. The story of where Amazon became a $1 trillion company. Bezos was just a regular guy working on Wall Street. He had a stable, high-paying job. As Mr. Buffett would stay there forever. But Bezos made a decision that changed everything. He chose long-term visa over short-term comfort. In 1994, he noticed something interesting. The internet was growing at 2,300% per year. That number alone had changed his life. He didn't start Amazon because he loved books. He started it because he understood the future week. He left his job, drove across the country with his wife, and started Amazon from a garage. Not all of us was office, not billions in funding, just a garage. In the beginning, Amazon didn't look like success. Orders were slow, the website was basic. People did doubt at him. But Bezos had one principle: think long term. Years later, Amazon survived the dot-com crash, expanded into everything, and became one of the most powerful companies in die wêreld. The lesson success is not so about starting big. It's about starting with vision and staying consistent. Now, let's talk about another powerful example. Someone who faced rejection again and again. Today, people see Musk as a genius billionaire, but they don't see the chaos behind it. At one point, Musk had to choose between paying rent or investing in his company. He chose to steer the company. He slept on office floors. His rockets exploded. Tesla almost went bankrupt multiple times. SpaceX failed as fast 3 launches. Most people would then quit after one failure. Musk didn't quit after 3. Why? Because he believed in something bigger than comfort. He once said, if something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favors. That's the difference between average thinking and wealthy thinking. Now, let's look at a different kind of story. Not a billionaire, but someone relatable. A regular American worker named Chris Gardner. His life was so difficult that he became homeless while raising his son. He slept in public bathrooms. He had no money, no connections, no backup. But he had one thing: focus. He got an unpaid internship at a brokerage firm. Imagine working with no salary while being homeless. Sounds impossible, right? But he treated it like a mission. He worked harder than everyone else. He learned faster. He stayed disciplined. And eventually, he got hired. Years later, he built his own investment firm and became a millionaire. His story became the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. You weet het? The lesson? Your situation does not mean your future. Your action here. Now let's talk about something most people ignore. Time. Every successful person you've seen didn't just work hard. They worked consistently over years. That's the part that social media doesn't show. And you see success, you don't see the 10 years beyond it. Take as another example, he didn't become rich overnight. In fact, most of his wealth came after the age of 50. Why? Because of compound growth. Buffett didn't chase trends. He didn't jump from one opportunity to another. He stayed patient. He invested, waited, and let time do the work. That's a mindset most people struggle with today. Everyone wants fast money, but real wealth is slow. Now, here's something important. All the historians have one thing in common. They didn't follow the crowd. Bezos left a safe job. Musk risked everything. Gardner worked without pay. Buffett stayed patient when others rushed. Success is not comfortable. As you're comfortable, you're probably not growing. Let's break this down into something practical. What can you learn from these real stories? First, start before you feel ready. None of these people had perfect plans. Second, focus on skills, not shortcuts. Money follows value. Third, be consistent longer than theirs. Most people quit too early. Fourth, think long term. Short-term thinking keeps you broke, and finally, accept failure as part of the process. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of it. Now, let's address reality. Not on everyone will become a billionaire, but anyone can improve their financial life. Anyone can grow from broke to stable, from stable to comfortable, from comfortable to wealthy. The path exists, but it requires discipline. If you want motivation, don't look at quotas. Look at real stories, because real stories don't lie. They show you the truth, and the truth is simple. Success is the push-up, but it's not easy, and that's exactly why I box. Because most of the people are, but not willing to do this for the teug. The question is, are you a real success story that prove en Nelman can become rich? Part 2. If part 1 showed you that success is possible, part 2 will show you something even more important. Success is repeatable. Different people, different backgrounds, same patterns. Let's start with the name almost everyone knows to say. Oprah wasn't born in wealth. She was born into poverty in rural Mississippi. Her childhood was filled with instability, hardship, and challenge most people can't even imagine. But here is what made her different. She didn't let her environment define her identity. She started in local media, reading news, no fame, no big platform, just small opportunities, but she used one skill, communication. She connected with people. That connection turned into influence, that influence turned into a global media empire. Oprah didn't just become rich, she became one of the most influential people in the world. The lesson, what your biggest weakness can become your biggest advantage now, if you're learning how to use it. Now, let's move to another powerful story. Today, Starbucks is everywhere, but Schultz didn't start Starbucks. He joined the deal. En die het al berei, wisse not, toe daar aan die small coffee business maar in 'n experience kyk. When he pitched this idea, investors rejected him again and again. Over 200 rejections. Most of the people quit after 5 kitters. Schultz kept going. Eventually, someone believed in him. He built Starbucks into a global brand with billions. The lesson, rejection is not failure. It's part of the process. Now, let's talk about someone younger, closer to today's generation. Zuckerberg didn't wait until his stock was ready. He started early. From a college dorm room, no big office, no perfect plan. With just an idea to connect the people that online. At the beginning, Facebook was just for college students, but Zuckerberg kept their improving just. Feature by feature, step by step. Today, it connects billions of people. The lesson? Start small, but we won't big. Now, here's something important most of people ignore. Success is not just about starting a day. It's about continuing when things get boring. Let's look at it. She was selling fax machines door to door. Not glamorous, not exciting. But during that day, she noticed a problem. Women didn't have comfortable undergarments that work with their outfits. Instead of ignoring it, she acted on it. She invested her saving, $5,000. No investors, no business background, just belief. She created Spanx. Today, she's a billionaire. Die lesson van opportunities are everywhere one by die brande gee van jou paie het nons nie. Now, let's talk about a story that Pumas you dood near to the perfect start. Before becoming a Shark Tank investor, Dom and John was working a regular job. He started his clothing brand Fubu from a swim. No big funding. He was sewing hats himself, selling them on the streets, slow growth, but he kept reinvesting, kept building. Eventually, Fubu became a global brand. The lesson? You don't need millions to start. You need consistency. Now, here's the truth most people avoid this. No for a success story includes struggle. Not one of these people had a mood journey, failures, rejections, doubts. That's part of the process. But here's what separates them from everyone else. They didn't stop. Les Stoltz vraag dus into uit Jepel formula, you can actually use, see opportunities others ignore. Moes jy op become pluggende successful people observe, take action, surely. Waiting for the perfect moment is die is mistake. Stay consistent. Motivatie se koms en shit. Discipline stays. Handle rejection. Every no gets you closer to a yes. Think a long-term real wealth takes time. Now ask yourself, are you looking for shortcuts or are you ready to follow a real path? Because this story proof one thing. There is no secret. Ideas oor in die werk, passionist and smart decision. And the best part, you don't need to be special to start. You just need to start. Because someone out there with fewer resources than you, with more problems than you, has already done it. Final conclusion.
The truth about success. After hearing that these real life success stories, and one question comes to mind. Okay, what do they have that you don't? The answer is simple. Nothing mathematical. They are not a superhuman. They are not perfect. They are ordinary people who make uncommon decisions. They choose discipline over comfort, patience over shortcuts, and action over excuses. That's what separates them. Success is not about luck. Yes, luck is gestos, but is not enough. Luck might open a door, but only effort kan dit teerop nie. Die truth is, moes ein people verwyd bevolg by the perfect moment. Successful people can create oat net. Success is almost not as instant. In today's fast world, the vrou can want quicker results. But real growth takes some time. What look like overnight and success is usually years of silent werk, failure, and persistent. En daar is die reality. Success is uncomfortable. It forces you to grow. It forces you to stay consistent when you don't feel like it. It forces you to keep going when results are slow.